The field. Every neighborhood has one. Grass, concrete, or dirt. The stage is the same. The rules, unwavering. And the goals, beautiful.
It goes in! Improbable scenes!
It's where the dream begins to achieve the ultimate victory.
The underdogs have prevailed once again!
One cup, open to all.
There is a celebration in Orlando.
Now, America's oldest soccer tournament is back.
Oh, it's incredible!
The field doesn't...
It's an absolutely beautiful night, paving the way for our march to the 5th round of the U.S. Open Cup. 4th round action continues tonight with a couple of bitter USL Championship rivals going toe-to-toe, with Birmingham Legion squaring off with Memphis 901. And hello, everyone, with Jose Rodriguez. I'm David Gascon. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. For Jose, this game's got a lot higher stakes because of where we're at this point in the year.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's a huge opportunity for both teams, to be honest. It's a big night because, you know, it's taken a step closer to the final, closer to the CONCACAF Champions League. There's so much on the line here.
Oh, we're so excited about this. Glad you can hang out with us on a Wednesday night. Starting 11 for both these sides, Spangenberg in net for Birmingham and Bill Hamid doing his act for Memphis.
Yeah, for Birmingham, a 4-2-3-1 formation. For Memphis, a 4-3-3. Very, traditional for both teams. You know, what we have seen from both of them in league play, it's pretty much what we have right here available tonight. Especially for Memphis, no changes from the last game. For Birmingham, on goal, Spangenberg gets the opportunity here tonight. But, the best teams are out there. The best available players are out there for both of these teams.
Enzo Martinez, this dude has been loud and proud all year, hasn't he?
Enzo Martinez is just a quality player. He's very good on and off the field. In the last 3 matches, 4 goals and 1 assist. He usually plays as a 10, but, we can also see him as a false 9, and that's what makes him so hard to defend. He's very unpredictable.
On the other side of things, if Memphis is going to win this contest, they don't need to be special tonight, but they have to be equally as good. And one guy in particular, number 7, Bruno Lapa.
Yeah, Bruno Lapa, another quality player in the middle. He can also play as a winger, 2 goals, 2 assists this year. And, I think it's going to be very important for him to be active defensively tonight. We can talk for hours about what he can do offensively. And he's going to have to do some of that here tonight. But you're playing on the road, and for him, it's going to be very important to help defensively this team.
I didn't know you'd be comfortable talking to me for hours about him or this game. It's good to know, though. We might be in for a long one tonight. Now, we'll take you through the U.S. Open Cup rules and regulations, but just so you know, this is 108 years old, and there are no draws. If this game ends in a tie in full time, we go to extra time. We don't go to extra time. We actually go to penalties. So that's it. So we decide things after 90 minutes, whether you like it or not. And then the most important thing is these teams have to get back to USL Championship action, and then hopefully the winner here tonight gets a couple days to just relax, recuperate. But the potential to make some money is eye-opening for both these squads.
Well, absolutely, and I think Memphis knows exactly, how to play under pressure. They did it in the last 2 games. They went on to extra time and then penalties. So for Memphis, they do have, the strength to do it, to go the all the way. But like you mentioned, when you have the opportunity and that responsibility to compete as well in league play, which both of these teams will have to do it this weekend, you're going to have to try to win the game in 90 minutes.
So right now, 79 degrees, a couple scattered clouds, humidity though is at a ripe 65%. It's a comfortable night for ball.
It's comfortable. Yeah, I think that's I don't know if it's perfect, but, it's getting close to that.
We say that as we're in the broadcast booth, not on the pitch, of course. So, but all jokes aside, players like this, coaches don't. And what I mean by that is you're playing almost every couple days.
Yeah.
And these guys are in a rhythm.
Yeah. Well, players, some of them like to train more than others. But when you have a midweek game, the training sessions are not going to be as hard.
Casillo, the first touch, and this thing is underway. Memphis will be moving from right to left on your screen, and Birmingham will be moving from left to right. Birmingham this season in USL Championship action, 5-4-1. Second place in the Eastern Conference with 16 points. Memphis, the same conference, they sit at 2-2-3 Right now, they're 8th in the Eastern Conference, but they've woken up after an 0-2 start out of the gate.
Yeah, because they did struggle defensively. They conceded goals early on, in most of the games early on in the season, but they got better with time, which is not unusual. And then they started scoring more goals. So, I think that combination will work most of the time.
Now,
when you play good T and you score goals.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand. They took apart Hartford a couple nights ago, winning 2-0. In that contest, Rashawn Daly scored a goal. Ron Casilladou also scored. Bill Hamid had 4 saves for his clean sheet, the second one of the season, and we'll see Bill in a few moments from now. On the other side of things for Birmingham and Tom Soon, he mentioned to us a few days ago that some things went against him in that Oakland match where they got beat 4-1 over the weekend, and he's not going to really complain too much about the officiating, but he just feels like there are some glaring holes in what's happened over the course of this young season in USL Championship.
Well, I think, it's part of the game. It's part of the frustration when the result doesn't go your way. But tonight they have another opportunity. It's an elimination game. It's important for them to turn the page, to move on, and to win tonight. This is a must-win for both sides.
Yeah, they had a troubling week, and it happened over the weekend against Oakland where they got beat 4-1. But prior to that, they got dismantled by Miami FC.
Yeah.
Midweek last week, they were never in that contest. They were down 1-0, then 2-0 before Enzo Martinez scored. But all in all, Memphis won that game comfortably with a 3-1 difference.
Yeah, I think, even though if you look at the league table, Birmingham looks a little bit more comfortable up in the standings. I think the momentum here tonight is on Memphis' side because they've been doing really well lately. And for Birmingham, they have been struggling the last 2 to 3 games.
Yeah, Stephen Glass, the head coach for Memphis, he feels good about his group. Feels like they're starting to get healthy at an important time of the season. And he's just raving about the guys that have stuck with their process, how they've competed, their mental focus, and then their confidence continues to be high.
Yeah, and confidence is a big part of the game.
Yeah.
It's you have to be ready physically, but mentally as well. You need to be up to par, especially in a competition like the Open Cup. Where one mistake can kick you out, and then that's the pressure that you need to know how to deal with on nights like this one.
Yeah, we saw it a couple weeks ago. We speak of Miami. Miami FC had an advantage over Inter Miami. They had them on the ropes. They're up 1-0 until the 89th minute. Equalizer came from Inter Miami. Miami FC took the advantage in extra time, and then all of a sudden you had the equalizer occurring, and then bang, all of a sudden you're left for dead, and you had an opportunity to close things out. And so that's neither here nor there, but you figure those chances were available, and now they aren't anymore.
Yeah, and it's good that you mentioned that because sometimes it's about closing a half, having a lead. Last 5 minutes of the first half, you concede a goal, then the momentum shifts. And in the second half as well, there's a lot of pressure because there's tired legs.
Yeah.
There's league play coming up in the weekend. So there are so many things that you have to take into account in Open Cup play. So it should be a fun night here.
Yeah, tonight is May the 10th. Both these teams play on May the 13th. Birmingham against Pittsburgh on the road. Memphis will be at home against Colorado Springs. But the one luxury that these two teams have tonight is they're a USL Championship foe. So the beautiful element is you don't have to worry about, from a head coach's perspective, you overlooking the competition.
No. It's going to be pretty even. I think both of these teams know each other really, really well. So, it should be a good match. I think early on we see a lot of possession for Memphis, and that's good news for them. That's exactly what they did against Atlanta, and that's how they were able to dominate that game.
Casilladou here. Memphis with early possession. Malloy gave it up. Aaron Malloy has gotten high reviews from Stephen Glass. Been in the middle of the pitch all season, and he clearly typically controls the action for Memphis. Out wide here, Ward looking for some space. Ward, he shoots. That one hits some woodwork. Keem rained that thing flush. A near miss, and we're still scoreless.
Oh, just beautiful play from Memphis. Look at the ball movement. It all starts on the right side. Fernando through the middle, opening up to the left side. Ward that cuts inside, takes the right-footed shot, and so close. what a moment it would have been for Ward. And then again, remember, Ward is your left back.
Yeah.
And he's only the 6th minute of the match, and he's already having a chance inside the box. So a very good sign for Memphis here.
Oddly enough, the folks that do a lot of the wagering in Las Vegas, Nevada, have the goal total tonight at 3.
Okay.
Now, you were anticipating that we'd probably have some extra time and penalties.
Oh, yeah, I think that's, as I was getting ready for this game, both of these teams, I think they're pretty even. And, yeah, it's hard to predict. It's really, really hard to predict who's going to win this game. But as it stands right now, Memphis is off to a good start. But I expect Birmingham, to step up a little bit in the next few minutes. I don't expect them to sit back and just wait for Memphis to score a goal on them.
Match into the 7th minute right now. Birmingham, you see their figures all-time U.S. Open Cup, 3-2-1. And yes, you consider once you're done with 90 minutes a draw. Obviously, those things are decided in penalties after that. Memphis on this side of things, 4-2 record. We mentioned the upset last year in 2022. One of the staples to Birmingham this year, and you look at the offensive prowess they pose on the opposition, is what they do to spread the field. They have great action all the way across the pitch, of course highlighted by Enzo Martinez. But Birmingham this year, they've scored 15 goals, and they're the only team in USL Championship this year that have scored in 9 of 10 matches.
So goals is not a problem for them, right? Even though sometimes, it's important to find a balance. And there are stretches throughout the year in which, you value a lot more the possibility of getting a clean sheet other than scoring 2 or 3 goals on the opposition. I think it's about finding a balance.
Sure. Birmingham this year, they've scored 15 goals, but they have conceded 18, and that is a mile offside from Birmingham and Tuscaloosa as we look at the early action from Ward again.
Yeah, I think, as he cuts inside, he's able to create enough room for him to take the shot. It did look a little bit uncomfortable for him as he took the right-footed shot, but it was very good. When the curl was there, it was just a matter of inches.
It's a great look from our crew field level. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Jose Rodriguez, I'm David Gascon, and that man right there, Akeem Ward. Ward spent some time in Oakland, was the captain there, helped them reach the Western Conference Finals, but now makes his way to Memphis. On the pursuit, Casillo gave it up, loved to get it back, but he can't. Running out of real estate was Fernando. Now get a quick peek at Trevor Spangenberg. See Spangenberg, his numbers on the season. 500 record, the goals against average he'd love to have down, but a couple clean sheets in the resume.
Yeah, and obviously in Open Cup play, very important to have a solid goalkeeper. You might need him for penalties. You might need him through a stretch in which, you're trying to close out the game. And I think both of these sides are in pretty good hands.
Yeah, they certainly are the case. And if you've been out to sea for a while, Bill Hamid making his way from DC United now to Memphis 901. It's a big lift for the organization, and especially the young players. Not to say that he's over the hill by any stretch of the imagination, but that kind of veteran presence does so much for the locker room.
Absolutely, and I've said it before. I think, for Bill, I think he's one of the top goalkeepers from our generation when it comes to the United States. I think, the main reason why he wasn't able to, consistently work for the national team is because the competition was just outstanding. You talk about the names that he needed to compete with to get a spot in the national team. It's just unreal, but he's top goalkeeper, and he still is.
Casillo gave it up on the touch. Birmingham has not done a lot with possession here so far in the first 10 minutes worth of action. This one played through nicely. No numbers, though. Good defensive coverage right there for Birmingham, and little escape. Pronali able to get out of harm's way, at least for the time being. Kelly had it for a moment. Martinez now trying to counter. Jose, you bring up the U.S. national team. I think it's a sore spot because he talked about the goalkeeping. And as Martinez here, Martinez gets dumped by Kelly. The goalkeeping for the national team has not been a problem, but it's the offensive firepower and lack thereof as Martinez mixing it up.
Yeah, a very important moment here for Birmingham early on because, the foul allows the defenders to get a breather early on. They have been under pressure for the first 11 minutes of the match. And now Birmingham gets an opportunity all of a sudden from a set piece here, which, they haven't been able to put numbers inside the box. Well, this is a great opportunity. And sometimes these are the moments that can turn a game.
Tyler Pasher. Pasher signed with them just a few months ago, back in December of 2022. Here he is delivering on service. That one with good intent. Poor execution on it, though. Colin Smith here. Smith has started 10 of 11 matches up to this point. Has possession now. Jacksonville, Florida. Birmingham, their dark uniforms tonight. Memphis in the lighter color. If you're just joining us, Akeem Ward hit the right bar flush. Chance here for Birmingham. They had a couple inside the 18, cleared away at the last second by Akeem Ward. So offense and defense, a couple of fine moments for that man, number 14.
Yeah, and quickly for Birmingham, they're getting a little bit of more possession in the attacking part of the field, which is very important. And it's also an opportunity for Memphis to work a little bit defensively. They don't need to get it caught off guard here.
Pasher. Colin Smith. These two teams last met August the 20th of 2022. Birmingham doubled up Memphis 4-2 in that contest. Enzo Martinez, yes, he did do some damage. Scored in the 70th minute. Yeah, exactly. Juan Agudelo also scored in that affair. Speaking of Memphis here tonight, they have a lot to atone to given the fact that they had a sluggish start to the season. Their goal differential is +1. 11-4 and 10 against. But they beat Hartford on May the 6th, 2-0. And there is Bill. Bill's a big dude, 6'3" and 240 pounds. You see the figures on him, 2-0 and 3. But the goals against average is sparkling at .80. Ooh, Pasher taken down just outside the 18, and that should result in a booking. Pasher upset. Ward will get it here in the 14th minute, and for good reason, Jose. He might have prevented a goal.
Yeah, that's an easy call for the referee. A great move from Pasher through the middle, usually left-footed. He's able to move past 4 defenders. It's a lot of strength, a lot of pace as well in that play for him. And for Akeem Ward, maybe what they call a professional foul, that he just needed to do that. Yeah.
Time and place for everything, and that was well displayed, as you mentioned, Jose. Now, if you're Birmingham, you have a lot of pieces.
Yeah, and listen, for Akeem Ward, it's something to think about, right? Because he's pretty much involved in the game for the full 90 minutes. With a yellow card, you really have to be careful. It's very early.
Fanuel Kavita, speaking of yellow cards, he picked up 2 of them last weekend against Oakland. Second, obviously, resulting in a red card. And they got dismantled by Oakland. 4-1 was the final score in that contest. It was a physical match for Birmingham, but expensive. They had 7 yellow cards, the red card as well, and they just were never in it playing a player down for nearly 3/4 of the affair. So we'll see who takes this free kick. Should be Pasher. It is off the touch, and he hits the wall. Coming out immediately is Aaron Malloy. Fine job by Memphis defensively off the quick touch. Seydou trying to give it back to Pasher. Pasher again, low arcing on it. That bender never made its way through with tons of traffic around. Pace so far, what do you think about it?
I think it's good. I think it's good. I think it's up and down. I think, Memphis had the first 10 minutes, and the last 6 minutes, it's been all about Birmingham. I think it's looking good.
This one attempted to play through for Colin Smith, just a little too hot off the right foot. As the night goes along, we'll also keep you up to date on scores around the U.S. Open Cup, except for maybe that one. Columbus is absolutely tattooing Loudoun United FC 5-0. In the 60th minute, they're moving their way into, and that thing wasn't even close.
Yeah, and Cincinnati leading the way against New York City. But, it's surprising to see Loudoun down by 5 goals in only 36 minutes. They scored 5 goals in 36 minutes of play. It's surprising because Loudoun this year, it's not the same team that we saw in the last 2 years. They're completely different, and that's why they're participating in the tournament, because their relationship with DC United, it's minimal now. So for Loudoun, it's a surprising result.
Here's Akeem Ward. Ward with a yellow card in the 14th minute. And to give you some kind of perspective on Loudoun right now, they're 7th in the Eastern Conference. An even goal differential, but yeah, I mean, New York Red Bulls too was a club last year that bottom of the barrel, and they moved their way to the MLS Next Pro. But Loudoun United has really changed their face.
Yeah.
And everything else has followed along.
Yeah, they are a completely different team this year, and they're playing really well in league play. But, things happen. Sometimes there's a lot of pressure as well.
Yeah.
On USL Championship teams in Open Cup, because, everybody wants to be Sacramento Republic from last year, right? Everybody wants to get to the final to have that opportunity to play for the title. And, sometimes you just have to rotate players, and, with that comes a struggle sometimes.
Here's Ward outside. Ward, Cassidy, there's Laurent. Laurent from Ivory Coast. 3rd season with Memphis now. On the intercept, here comes Birmingham. Colin Smith trying to play himself into some action. And Akeem Ward, let's see what happens here. You can be the judge at home, but Jose will bring you inside.
Yeah, I think, great anticipation to start with Colin Smith, just taking the ball away in the middle of the field. Then there's the sliding tackle. If you're going to call that as a foul, which I am not 100% sure it is, because I don't see a lot of contact there, but if you're going to call it as a foul, I think that's a yellow card. Sliding tackle from behind.
19th minute.
Lorenzo
Hernandez is...
Yeah, I would say 9 times out of 10, that's a yellow card. Well, Akeem Ward is a very, very, very lucky man right now.
I don't know. Check that. I was going to say, I don't know when that wouldn't be a yellow card, but it's not a yellow card right now.
Yeah, so right now.
Pull the e-brake on it. Pasher trying to deliver. Nearly got that through. Broken up at the last second, though. And a nice play by Aaron Malloy, while he's played a couple balls inside the 18 nicely.
Well, I'm really surprised that the Birmingham players were not all over the referee.
Little hazing that one off the woodwork. Not once, not twice, but it finds some twine. Agudelo on the board, and Birmingham leads 1-0. Well, Bill Hamid was shot to his toes, Jose. He couldn't do anything about it. Birmingham and their faithful on their feet with an early advantage.
Well, Birmingham, they started to get a little bit more possession. They never were able to create an opportunity inside the box until right now. And guess who's involved? It's Enzo Martinez who brings the ball in. And Agudelo showing all the quality that we know he has.
One touch, and to the back of the net it goes. A beautiful finish for the striker. And what a moment it is for Birmingham after they did struggle in the first few minutes of the game, and now they have the lead. They were able to just step it up a little bit, put pressure on Memphis, and now they are pretty much in control of the game.
I mean, that thing looked like bumper cars.
Yeah.
That thing was quickly off the foot of Agudelo. And as you mentioned, Enzo Martinez continues to add to his year-long totals. In league play, 5 goals and a couple of assists, and now here tonight with a helper.
It's just incredible. It's just incredible. He's involved. It seems like he's involved in every single goal that Birmingham will score this year. It's about, understanding the system for him. I think the confidence is there always. We know that. But, it's a setup play as well. That doesn't happen just because he wants to put the ball inside the box and see what happens. He knows exactly where Agudelo is going to be.
I mean, just seconds ago, we were talking about how Birmingham maybe should have had someone in the face of Lorenzo Hernandez, the lead official, talking about a second yellow card for Ward. But as they say, ball don't lie.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're absolutely right about that.
Nice move. Asiadu with a slight hesitation. And Birmingham now playing with an elevated level of confidence. Here's Colin Smith around the corner. Smith with the chip. Hamid comes out, double hand fisting it out of bounds, and that results in a corner kick again for Birmingham. Jose, take me through this goal again. The process from Martinez to Agudelo.
Well, it's a setup play because it's a short corner, and usually you expect a cross to the back post or the first post. But this time, look at the way he's able to strike the ball. He knows exactly what he wants to do, and Agudelo makes the run, and he's a step forward. And that's all he needs, really. Yeah. He steps up to the ball. He meets the ball, just a slight touch. The ball hits the post and to the back of the net. So, it looks very easy, but it is not, let me tell you.
Pasher and Martinez, they work quickly and playing some games there in that corner. Yeah, the closing speed or lack thereof from Memphis to attack Martinez was probably the biggest difference on that sequence. He allotted some real estate, and Martinez, crafty as he is, the 32-year-old did some damage. Pasher on service, and there's Hamid this time.
See, that's a little bit of more a traditional corner kick, right? That's what we see 80% of the time. But Birmingham, they were able to execute a play that they work on through the week, and obviously that's a great feeling for the coaching staff.
I got a brief moment. Fans, make sure you dive deeper into the thrills and drama of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Join the conversation on Twitter and Instagram at Open Cup and on Facebook at Official Open Cup Today. Glad he can be with us on a Wednesday night from Birmingham, Alabama. We're at Protective Stadium. Jose Rodriguez, I'm David Gascon, and our entire crew, our award-winning crew, hanging out with you. 4th round action. A winner-take-all scenario. Memphis looking for an equalizer. Akeem Ward on the opposite end. Can't receive that, though. Philip Goodrum landed into the net.
Yeah, they need to get Goodrum involved a little bit more, just so that he gets a feeling off the ball, gets back into the rhythm. We haven't seen a lot of touches from him. And listen, Memphis, they know how to come back. They did it the last round against an MLS team. They know how to do it, so I'm 100% sure they'll continue to fight. And, sometimes it's about the ups and downs throughout the game. And right now it's not looking really good for Memphis, but how are they going to be able to recover? That's going to be important for them to try to get back into this one.
Yeah, for Stephen Glass's group, can be a little deflating. They controlled possession for the first 10 minutes. Akeem Ward hit woodwork. And then all of a sudden, tide started going the other way for Birmingham. They had a chance, and they pocketed that one.
Yeah, I think that's the right assessment because I think both teams had one chance each.
Yeah.
And, Birmingham was able to capitalize on it. And then again, of course, the opportunity for Birmingham came right to Juan Agudelo, which, is a top striker, has been a top striker for a while. And nothing against Hakeem Ward, but he's a left back, so you know you're not used to see him finish inside the box. But regardless, I think it's about taking advantage of opportunities.
Well, they have been good so far this season, Birmingham. A little off pace because Sea-Doo launches that one from well out, but it is airmail 10 feet over the keeper, Trevor Spangenberg's net. For Memphis, they've scored in 7 straight USL Championship matches. They've scored 11 goals during that run. And during that run that they're on in regular season activity, they're also undefeated, which is nice for them in a 5-game span when you think about what they have done. 2 wins, no losses, and 3 draws in 5 matches. But they've done some things that have been special, but they got to keep their foot on the floorboard. It all begins here tonight with a comeback bid against Birmingham. Memphis does have some firepower, though. They have 7 different goal scorers this year. Not to say that Birmingham is incredibly top-heavy, but they don't have as much balance, if you will, when it comes to that offensive prowess. Although Prosper Kasim, he's done his part. He's got 3 assists on the year. Martinez, the 5 goals.
Yeah, and I think I'll tell you after this one.
Fernando gave it up. This one delivered, not on the same page again.
I think we all know when it comes to Birmingham, you know, the main guy, the guy that you want to try to stop, it's Enzo Martinez.
Yeah.
It's just that everybody knows that. And, you know, it's so hard to do it. So, you know, when it comes to Birmingham, you know, they have Enzo, they have Agudelo, they have 2 players that, you know, they have been playing at a high level. Mainly throughout their entire career. But that's the beauty of the game. Even though when you know who to attack, you know, when you have the quality, when you have that special talent, which is the case for Martinez, it's just so hard to defend. They're so unpredictable.
Yeah.
And that's what makes them different, and that's how they can change a game.
It's always nice when you open up a show and the players that you spotlight do something early.
Yeah.
But conversely, we haven't spoken about Bruno Lapa at all tonight.
Yeah, not a lot from Bruno. Not a lot from Bruno, and that's something that needs to change for Memphis.
Yeah.
I think he was involved early on, but I think you touched on this a little bit. You know, they had a lot of possession, but they didn't create a lot of chances inside the box.
Yeah. Fernando here, weaving his way through some traffic, a little bit of contact just outside the 18. And that one's going to skip out of play and result in a goal kick. So if you're just joining us, Agudelo in the 20th minute, Enzo Martinez with the assist, making it 1-0. Outside the area, but one of the things that has inflicted damage on Memphis this year is they've conceded 6 goals in the first 15 minutes of league action this year.
Yeah. And I think that's something to think about as a coaching staff, because of how that can hurt you moving forward mentally.
Yeah.
Because you go into the game thinking they cannot score on me. That cannot happen again. So that puts added pressure, and that takes you away from the offensive side of the game. So it's very important for them to overcome that. They did concede a goal here tonight in the 20th minute, which, you know, it's not unusual. It can happen. But like I said before, they know how to come back in games. They have done it before.
Mikey Lopez taken down, no call. Lapa couldn't maintain possession on it. Cronali was there to spill it. Yeah, it's just the mindset, Jose, of every time you get on the pitch and all of a sudden you're playing at a deficit and it's tough to overcome. Intercept here, that one never made its way through target. The chances for Memphis have been far and few. Enzo Martinez here trying to switch the pitch, and he can't do it just yet. I'll get a little bit of help. Agudelo on the throw-in.
Well, I think, you know, that last play from Goodrum is the perfect example of how he's feeling right now. He's not getting a lot of chances, gets a touch, and immediately rushes and tries to get the shot.
You asked Stephen Glass about that.
Yeah. I think, you know, I just watching the games, the last few games for Memphis, I feel like he needs to score, you know, and he's doing a lot of good things for this team. A lot of good things.
When you say he needs to score, for him
for
or
him.
for the team?
No, for him. He needs to score for him, for the confidence. I think if you're a striker and you are not scoring, I don't care what you say. If you're a striker, you want to score. You need to see the ball in the back of the net.
That's what you're paid for.
You just need it. You just need it. And for Goodrum, after scoring 22 goals last year,
Yeah.
I think he needs to score.
22 goals in 34 matches. Martinez last year had 15 in 35. So both those guys are lethal. It doesn't matter what color kits they have on. From all sides of the pitch, they can give the opposing team and their coaching staff absolute nightmares. 32nd minute. And we'll continue to keep you up to date on scores around the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Columbus Crew dismantling Loudoun United. Can imagine they've called off the Dogs 5-0. Cincinnati still with a 1-0 stake over New York. This one off one foot, and a second one as Cronali will break it up. Goodrum there in hot pursuit. Kavita.
Birmingham is starting to slow down a little bit. You know, sometimes when you score, you feel like, you know, you have done enough, and then you lay back a little bit and you get in trouble.
Lapa with some space, he pulls the trigger. That one blocked on the way through. Oh, he had an open angle for a moment, and it quickly closed. Pasher on the outside. He's got some speed, extra angle. He gives that one to Agudelo, and everyone in the stands beside themselves, including Jose here. Agudelo trying to go around Hamid, no chance there, but we'll look back on this attempt by Pasher.
Well, it's a great counter-attack opportunity. You know, it's a shot block early on, and that opens up an opportunity. Here's Bruno Lapa, takes the shot, and you know, it's a risky business when, you know, you don't get a shot on target because the counter-attack opportunity was there. Tyler Pasher with plenty of room, but you know what? He's left-footed, and that's why he was not comfortable taking the shot on goal. Instead, he looks for Agudelo, too strong, and just unable to finish is the Colombian striker. So a missed opportunity here, without a doubt.
Well, Pasher is a guy that can do some heavy damage. Pasher scored 10 goals in 13 matches back in 2020. Nashville and Dallas just underway in the 3rd minute. Houston and Kansas City. Looking for some space, and Jeremy Kelly again couldn't find a crease.
Talk about the beauty of the cup, right? Because Sporting Kansas City not having a good season in MLS play, but this is a brand new competition. You know, this is an opportunity at a trophy for them.
Right.
No, they're not playing really well, but, you know, you have a good night, then you have 2 more weeks to prepare for the next game. You move on. You never know.
It's kind of like what we were talking about before we got on the air tonight about Inter Miami. They had lost 6 straight.
Yeah.
And then they beat Miami FC in penalties.
Yeah.
And now they feel a little bit better about themselves.
Yeah, they didn't have a strong showing last night, but they still were able to move past Charleston Battery. So, you know, they're step by step. You know, it's about going step by step in Open Cup, and you never know. You'll find yourself in the final and then fighting for the title and for a spot in the CONCACAF Champions League.
Phil Neville off the hot seat yet?
I don't know. It's really hard to tell, right?
The city of Miami is up in arms with how Inter Miami has performed. They had won their first 2 matches of the year and then lost 6 straight. To not look good in any kind of fashion offensively. And it caused David Beckham to address the concern about their head coach, Phil Neville, publicly to the media.
Well, yeah, there's pressure within the tournament. Especially when you have big names connected to your team. You obviously want to be a winning club, and well, I guess after the Open Cup play against Miami FC, they have been able to win some games. We'll see what they can do in the rest of Open Cup play. Which, by the way, they'll know the opponent in the next round tomorrow.
Yeah.
The draw will be taking place for the Open Cup in the next round, so we'll see if they have a good matchup.
Well, in 7 matches during the regular season, Memphis has conceded a goal in the first half in all 7 contests. Now, of course, this is not a regular season affair, but it's a common foe in league play. So that trend has not been kind to Memphis. Take a look at Pasher there again. Pasher from Ontario, California, that is. Out near the Inland Empire and Orange County. Same temperatures, but different kind of weather out there, Jose, if you get what I'm saying. Compared to South Florida and, of course, Alabama. Agudelo in the 20th minute. Enzo Martinez with the assist. Keem Ward hit the right bar early on. Picked up a yellow card as well. Fortunate enough not to grab another one. And so all in all, Memphis is just trying to hang tight, close out this first half, not being down an additional goal or a player. But Birmingham have found their sea legs collectively as a group.
Yeah, I think for Birmingham right now, it's about defending with the ball, having possession. Last 8 minutes of the half, they have the lead. They want to keep that going into the locker room, and I think that's going to be important for them. The challenge for Memphis is to create at least one more opportunity here and see if you can tie the score. Obviously, that could be a momentum changer as well. So, a lot on the line. Again, Open Cup, it's exciting. It's exciting.
Nice play defensively by Mikey Lopez to intercept it. Good anticipation. Couldn't hold it in, but Malloy was there in front. And conversely, though, for Birmingham, when you watch them play like they have in this first half, it just makes you think, can they do this consistently throughout the regular season? Pasher with the lane, some space, he shoots. Hamid says no. Martinez with the rebound. Opportunity here, and he scores! Enzo Martinez setting everybody up. Patient on the approach, finds the back of the net, and Birmingham comfortably in front, 2-0.
Man, oh man, what a player Enzo Martinez is. He makes it look so easy. The shot initially from Pasher, a key player for Birmingham tonight, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Takes the shot, Bill Hamid with the save. Look at Martinez taking his time, brings the ball back inside, Keem Ward in front of him, a soft touch, and to the back of the net it goes. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. He didn't want to take the right-footed shot. He took his time, find his way to his left foot, and makes the second goal for Birmingham late in the first half, something that we talked about, David. A big, big moment for Birmingham to go into the locker room with a 2-0 lead.
It's world class.
It's incredible. I think, it's the composure, right,
Yeah.
inside the box. Just the understanding of, okay, I have a right-footed shot here, but I don't want to take that. I don't think I'm going to be successful with that. I'm going to take my time. I know I have a Keem Ward in front of me, and I know I still have an opportunity to score. It's just a lot of quality for Enzo right there.
Wow, in the 39th minute, he scores that goal. And this is no disrespect to Hakeem Ward, but he was completely undressed in that sequence. And Jose, you mentioned this, the idea was not to pull the trigger with his right.
Yeah, he knew exactly. Listen, he has a lot of room right there. If he wants to pressure Bill Hamid and take the shot as quickly as possible, but not being comfortable with taking the right-footed shot, he could have done that right there, just taking a chance. But he knew he would be effective if he took his time and found a way to go through the middle, and just the soft touch is just, there's a lot of quality right there.
Magnificent from Enzo Martinez. And as we highlight at the open of the show, 4 goals in the last 3 matches, now make it 5 in the last 4. I mean, Martinez is blistering hot. Casillas, Akeem Ward sizing things up, but a little bit too strong in that approach. And you see a lot of the frustration from everybody across the board for Memphis 901, and of course Jeremy Kelly there. The first 10 minutes for them were an ideal spot, but you figure if you can't capture something early on, or when the moments have been afforded to you, if you miss the boat against a quality team like Birmingham, it's never coming back.
Yeah, I think they saw an opportunity once. You know, Akeem Ward had that opportunity inside the box, and he was not able to score. I think that was a wake-up call for Birmingham. You know, they understood that Memphis was here to play, and if you're not ready, they are going to win this game. So, you know, they understood that and step it up a little bit, and now they have a 2-goal lead. And, you know, that's the quality of a team that we know is there. But, you know, they were struggling in the last few weeks in league play. Not tonight.
Pasher, Martinez, Agudelo. Tell you what, it didn't look like he was offside at all. The thought there, at least defensively, from Vom Steeg. He's fortunate that thing came rolling into Bill Hamid, but Birmingham has been exceptional for the last 25 to 28 minutes worth of action. Prosper Kasim here. Drop off to Martinez. Probably should have kept it. Kasim blows a tire.
As it stands right now for Memphis, you know, it's about, you know, just going into halftime, having a conversation with the coaching staff, understanding that the game is still within reach, but you just need to have that moment.
Yeah.
You know, the next 3 minutes is more about not allowing Birmingham to score a 3rd goal on you. Just hold on, go to the locker room, regroup, and come out there in the second half and try to get an early goal and get back into this game. It's that second goal, you know, mentally, it's a big moment in the game for Birmingham.
Yeah, it is certainly. It rips the heart out of you, the spirit, especially with what you're trying to do and advance. This is not an easy tournament, like you mentioned. And Memphis in a real hole now, down 2-0, and their offense is dried up. They have no real threats against the entire defense of Birmingham, and Trevor Spangenberg has been relatively free of any kind of duress. Casillas. That one doesn't hit a pleasant spot.
Well, I think tactically for Birmingham, you know, the main thing right now is just keeping Malloy and Bruno Lapa away from the ball. They are happy when Memphis, when they have the ball through the wings. But once they go through the middle, they put a lot of pressure on Malloy, who takes the shot right there, and Bruno Lapa. And I think that's the key to the game as it stands right now defensively.
Played through nicely. Goodrum with the drop. Elected not to take the shot. And an intercept. Here's Casillas. Anderson with a nice move, and Casillas selling that. The one time where you feel like Goodrum probably taking the shot would have been better for him and also Memphis. He elected not to do so. See a good look at Enzo Martinez with a couple minutes of stoppage time. 6 seasons with Charlotte. Now he's made his way to Birmingham, Alabama. His skills have been a perfect complementary piece for Birmingham. And a member of Birmingham down the deck in the middle of the pitch. It looks like Colin Smith, that's exactly the case. It's a bad look, him grabbing his calf. Casillo with an open lane, wanting to get it over to the left-hand side. Keem Warren was the intended target. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Yeah, Memphis in a tough bind. 0-2-3 in their last 5 matches when they concede the first goal.
Well, if you want to be positive, you don't actually have to win the game tonight. You can take it to penalties.
I see you working.
It'll count.
I see
It'll
you
count
working,
as a
Jose.
draw, and then you'll be able to move on if you win the PK. But
you.
just trying to be positive here, David.
Are you trying to say I'm negative?
No.
I'm just trying to report the news a little bit here. Keem Ward directing some traffic with Jeremy Kelly. But yeah, I mean, it's a great point. It's more easier said than done, obviously, with the firepower that Birmingham does have. It's the first real stoppage that we've had tonight in this contest.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised about the 2 minutes, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it was very well played. The first half, very entertaining. I think, the way Birmingham was able to take a hold of the game after the first 10 minutes, I think that was very telling and a lot of fun to watch.
Not fun if you're Bill Hamid. He's been victimized twice.
Yeah, and you know what the worst part? It's for Bill Hamid, he had no chance.
Now, neither shot.
Yeah.
Agudelo with the first marker in the 20th minute. Enzo Martinez 19 minutes later to extend the advantage to 2.
And the second goal is a soft touch, but it's so close, and the ball goes between the legs for Keem Ward. It's very hard to react at that point. So, yeah, no chance for Hamid on both goals.
Memphis' final burst here. Lorenzo Hernandez looking at his watch. Bruno Lapa, the intended target. Kelly wrapping this around to Ward. Kelly. Looked like it might have gotten a handball from Martinez. And that'll do it for the opening half with the work. All Enzo Martinez, all Birmingham Legion comfortably with a 2-0 advantage.
You're absolutely right. It's a great half for Enzo Martinez. Thankfully for Memphis, it's not about 45 minutes. There's still 45 to go. They still have an opportunity at this game, but it's going to take a lot more from them offensively, and that's the main talking point during halftime for Birmingham. A great performance for 35 minutes here in the first half.
Well, Jose and myself will take a quick water break of our own, and when we do return, we'll have some first half stats, some highlights, and some scores. We're live here at Protective Stadium. 4th round action, Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, Birmingham. 2 goals, Memphis with nothing.
All right, we got a lot of good couples here tonight, so we're going to see how well we really like each other as we fire up the Miller Lite kiss cam and the camera starts on you. exclusively subs, wings, desserts, and tailgating essentials from Publix, the official supermarket of Birmingham Legion FC. Are you interested in hosting a birthday party and a suite at Protective Stadium during a Legion FC game this season? Email us at tickets@bhmlegion.com. That's tickets@bhmlegion.com for more information. Hi, Jay. Ramos. Salas? The mechanic for also? I was calling about some business. Not for me, but for my daughter, Lisette. I was thinking I could do some extra work around the course of the week. Hey, Lamar. I think she's going to be the champ. Connecting means everything. AT&T. Legion FC's next match is on the road versus the Pittsburgh Riverhounds this Saturday, May 13th at 6 p.m. Central. Tune in to watch the match on My 68 or ESPN+. Birmingham returns to Protective Stadium on Saturday, May 20th at 6:30 p.m. for a matchup with El Paso Locomotive. Join us right back here by getting your tickets now at bhmlegion.com/tickets.
Back here at Protective Stadium, it's halftime, folks. You see the score. Birmingham comfortably in front of Memphis. 2-0 is the score as we look back to yesterday, Tuesday's scores. U.S. Open Cup fourth round action. Jose, what do we have?
Well, one cup set to start. Pittsburgh with a 1-0 win over New England Revolution. Inter Miami a 1-0 win against Charleston Battery. Not a lot of goals in those two matches. I think, the excitement came late in the day with Monterey and LAFC a 2-2 draw. LAFC able to win 5-4 in penalties, and Colorado Rapids with a 4-2 result over Sacramento Republic. So the Open Cup run is done for Sacramento Republic, and the defending champions are out as well. Orlando City went down to Charlotte FC 1-0, and another match decided on penalties. Minnesota and Philadelphia Union 3-3 in the 120 minutes and 7-6 in PKs for Minnesota.
All right, so we had all of that, and then what about today?
Well, a 5-1 win for Columbus. The last time we checked, it was 5-0, so good for Loudon. They were able to get a goal in. 30th minute mark, and Nashville and Dallas remain scoreless, and Houston with a 1-0 lead over Sporting Kansas City.
So take us through the first half highlights in this thing, because it was not a bad start for Memphis at all, was it?
No, it was a great start for Memphis. They were able to create this opportunity out of the build-up, moving the ball from side to side. Akeem Ward inside the box, right-footed shot, but the post says no. And just a few minutes later, it's a set-piece opportunity. Short corner here from Pasher to Martinez. Martinez brings the ball inside the box, and Agudelo with the finish. The great sense of anticipation that time. He knew exactly where he needed to be. He got to the perfect spot, and an instant finish for him. So important goal, 20th minute mark. And then as we moved on, Birmingham continued to control the game. Tyler Pasher with the left-footed shot. The save from Bill Hamid. Martinez takes his time, brings the ball inside, looks for the left-footed shot, and look at the soft touch right there near the post, and just impossible for Bill Hamid to react. The ball is just too close to him. Ball goes between the legs for Akeem Ward, and it's 2-0, and that was the moment that, as it stands right now, I think gives full control to the home side.
All about the numbers now as we take a look at the first half statistics in this thing. See the advantage, 2-0 for Birmingham. Shots favor Memphis, but the ones on target are the ones that count.
Yeah, and Birmingham with 3 already. A 71% possession for Memphis. Not a lot of possession for Birmingham, but plenty of goals, and that's all that matters, David. I think when it comes to yellow cards, there's a conversation that we had in the first half when it comes to Akeem Ward. A close call and a second yellow card. It didn't happen, but right after that, Birmingham was able to capitalize and score the first goal of the match.
Birmingham lost a couple nights ago to Oakland, and I think it's safe to say that they're playing as a team pretty ticked off.
Yeah.
Losers of 2 straight.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think they know they're better than that. And that was a wake-up call for them, as it was as well tonight, the chance from Akeem Ward early on. So I think this is the real Birmingham, and this is the Birmingham that, it's going to continue to develop into a better team. There's a lot of room to grow as well, and plenty of time to go in the regular season.
How much money can I pay to join one of those 3 guys down there shirtless? Money or beer? Which one are you taking for compensation on the bribe?
I think they'll take beer. Yeah.
Well, the fans are out and all about it right now as we're live from Protective Stadium, and they have a good reason to celebrate. Their team with an advantage right now at 2-0. Now, the big question is, coming into the second half, Jose, is if you are Birmingham, how do you accentuate your bench players? How do you get them into this contest? And eventually, when do you pull the trigger and pull some of your top-tier players?
Oh, well, I think, you have to try to be aggressive in the first 10 to 15 minutes, try to get that third goal, and then you can start to think about bringing players off the bench and start thinking as well about, the weekend and the next game. But as it stands right now, there's still an opportunity for Memphis. If for some reason Memphis is able to score first, then they're back in the game and you're back under pressure. So it's going to be important to have a good start here in the second half.
Again, this is a win and continue on. Lose and you go home, or at least you're done for the U.S. Open Cup situation. That's how this is. Now, the majority of the MLS teams that got involved did not have to play in the first or second rounds. They weren't even involved in it. Same thing with the USL Championship. Everyone else is NISA and the amateur leagues and whatnot. They had to stake their claim early on in advance, the tougher route. But nevertheless, once you get to the third, the fourth, and fifth rounds, and that's when the ante is up.
Yeah.
Stakes are higher, the pressure's on, and got to imagine more eyeballs around the country start coming to those events.
Well, yeah, because you're just a few games away from international competition and from winning a title.
Yeah.
You know, for you to win the league, you have to go through the full regular season. And we have seen it so many times how the team that finishes at the top during the regular season goes out in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, you know, winning the league, it takes time. But winning the cup, it's about taking it step by step, having a good night here and then, having a good draw as well.
Yeah.
Getting the opportunity to play at home, not to travel. And then, you know, you're just, whenever, you know, when you least expect it, you have a chance at a title. So it's quicker. And obviously, like we mentioned before, the CONCACAF Champions League, that's big, big time.
Champions League action CONCACAF. Oh, frustration. Goodrum had that feet go behind him. Corcoran in for Birmingham. Mikey Lopez is out. That's the one substitution made so far for Tom Soon. So one substitution made for Birmingham, and we'll see if they continue with that. One element for Birmingham is they have a deep squad. Always helps when you have a 2-0 advantage. So if you're just joining us, Agudelo in the 20th minute, Enzo Martinez in the 39th. They've been doing the heavy lifting all season long. And if you're Birmingham, you're going to ride those horses all the way to the finish line. Goodrum over pursued. Siadu pushes this thing forward. Agudelo in pursuit. Nice chip. Kasim cannot split two defenders. Nice breakup at the last second. All this there.
Good pressure in the middle from Birmingham. Whenever a midfielder for Memphis gets a hold of the ball, it's one or two players nearby, and that forces the long ball, which they have been able to win as well. So defensively, a great job in the middle of the field for Birmingham.
32 teams in the fourth round, yesterday and today. We'll have a new draw tomorrow for the final 16 in round number 5.
Two teams from USL Championship already guaranteed on the next round.
Pittsburgh's the most surprise for me.
Pittsburgh, yeah, that's a huge surprise just because New England is having a good year in league play.
Monterey Bay, they had their shot.
Yeah, LAFC, went with a heavy rotation. Obviously, they have the Champions League final in a few days, and they have league play. But I think the most important reason why they needed to do it was Champions League.
Yeah,
it's a big game. You're basically playing for an opportunity to play at the Club World Cup. So there's a lot on their schedule in the next few weeks. but Monterey just, took them to the limit, all the way to penalties, but they just weren't able to finish.
Again, Memphis, that shot gobbled up. Easy control by Spangenberg, who's faced no real threat. In fact, this is the first shot on target tonight for Memphis. Hakeem Ward's initial attempt, all the way back in the 6th minute, was off the right bar. That one slightly off the mark.
Great job that time from Hakeem Ward, just able to get a slight touch on the ball, and that was more than enough.
Goodrum trying to get around Cronali using his size and a great deal of muscle. It helps when you're 6'5" and 205 pounds, Jose.
It was pretty clear, right?
Yeah, this just in.
Yeah, well, I think, sometimes it takes time to know how to manage your body, especially when you're a center back.
Yeah.
You don't want to be overly aggressive and start committing fouls and penalties all over the place just because you think you're bigger and stronger.
Right.
You just need to know how to deal with it.
Watch the ball. Watch the ball. Right.
Kelly. Poor feed. Malloy was going one way, ball was going the other way. Cassim looking for Martinez. Oh, we had him for a moment. Martinez did not want to be rolled offside, so he did jam on the brakes. Malloy hitting that circle button, spinning all the way around. Malloy again. That's patient play at Alapa. Working short. Back to Malloy. Casillas, who takes the spill. They play on. Casillas didn't go down on his own accord. I can tell you that much.
Just one of those nights for Memphis. They're starting to look a little bit better, but the reality is that they're missing some easy passes. As we take a look at the goals here, Martinez with the cross after the short corner kick, and the finish from Agudelo. Then Martinez involved again. This time Tyler Pasher with the shot before that, and then a beautiful finish from Martinez. But David, Tyler Pasher is playing a very good game for Birmingham tonight. And I'll tell you why. He's creating a lot of room for Martinez offensively. When he holds the ball behind him, it's been hard to stop him.
Fine play defensively, and Lorenzo Hernandez obligated to blow the whistle. Take a peek at this again as you see Corcoran with a fine play on a wipeout attempt against Casillas. Casillas comes right back with a foul.
Yeah, I think, the most important thing for him is to, first off, of course, to get possession. Once he got possession, he knew exactly that he was in trouble if he was trying to push. So he waited for the contact and, just waited for the foul basically to happen. And, it seemed like a young player still, but, a very experienced play that time.
Corcoran from Dallas, Texas. Memphis with the substitution, first one of the night. Rashawn Dali comes into the affair. 56th minute for Laurent Casillas. Dali spent some time in Hartford, now with Memphis.
Yeah, and what he needs to do here tonight is just he needs to provide a spark. It seems like Memphis is missing that element offensively. They need more energy. They need the sense of urgency.
Malloy. This one played and going out for it. Spangenberg gobbles it up. Hakeem Ward, he had the right idea, but positionally just inaccurate with that attempt.
Yeah, and I think that's been a problem for them here tonight. Just to, whenever they get possession in the final third, and they're lacking that quality. And sometimes, especially when it comes to Open Cup, that's not something that's easy to overcome. And in a night where you're down by 2 goals,
Yeah.
it's going to be tough.
Colin Smith, he's played sound ball tonight. Smith now in USL Championship, was a member of USL League One and also MLS Next Pro. Promotion he'll take all day long. We'll see you do. Lapa, no harm, no foul. Dumped on his wall. It's Pasher. And Goodrum upended.
Yeah, good call from the referee. For Memphis, it's going to be very important to get a good cross in, to take another look at the foul. It all starts really with Bruno Lapa. Quickly recovering the ball through the middle. And there's contact there over Goodrum. Set pieces, this is the way to get back into the game for Memphis.
58th minute. Malloy outstretched. Sharp angle. Spangenberg did not give up any ground.
There's the ball coming in. Oh, there's an offside right there. I think it's Dali who gets the first touch on the ball. And that put his teammate in offside position. So that kind of night, I mean, it's
Snowballed.
It's incredible at times, right?
Dali. He was looking for Lapa, but they weren't on the same page. Enzo Martinez into a vacant area. Siadu. Kasim with an angle, the cross, nobody home. Don't know exactly what Kasim was doing there. Nothing but white kits. Lapa. Dali. No numbers, though, for Memphis. You see everyone in black for Birmingham. Dali will embark on a shot, and Pronali will just head that thing out of harm's way. Not a lot of zip on that ball, though.
Yeah. Listen, it's not going to be easy through set pieces for Memphis when you have to move past Grignali, right? If the ball is going in the air, he's probably going to get to it.
Yeah.
But if you're able to find the right combination, then maybe this is the way to go, because from the build-up, they just haven't been able to create chances.
Five inside the 18. This one rather long. Could have been trouble. Pronali in that 6'5" frame, as you mentioned, Jose.
On cue, right? I mean,
it's like he heard you from upstairs.
You need to try to keep the ball away from him.
Hakeem Ward. Kelly. Trying to get around Agudelo. Good angling here. Malloy. Crafty. Kelly. No. Every time there's a bid for Memphis, it just seems like someone from Birmingham is in front. Case in point right there. Too far out in front of Enzo Martinez. Fellas are at the break. Nashville and Dallas. Scoreless. Houston 1-0 over Kansas City.
I jinxed him.
You did. Dali. Siadu on the intercept there. Loudoun United, their Open Cup bid is quickly evaporated. 5-1 the final there. And Cincinnati beats New York 1-0. Kelly. Dolly. Dolly, that should be a foul, and it is.
At this point for Birmingham, it's about managing the game. It seems like they're pretty much in control.
Yeah.
Obviously, a goal for Memphis will change things drastically because, you know, the energy will be completely different. And I'm sure Birmingham will be under a lot more pressure. But as it stands right now, and to me, this is more like a game for Birmingham to continue to manage other than having Memphis overcome this 2-0 result as it stands right now.
And on the heels of that, the 2023 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup ramps up over the coming weeks as the tournament's trophy comes into view tomorrow night. Watch as the winning clubs face their fate in the round of 16 draw. See all the action and the matchups as they are made on the Bleacher Report app and also on Bleacher Report Football's YouTube channel at 2 p.m. Eastern. Martinez trying to put a nail in the coffin against Memphis. 63rd minute.
So it's a quick turnaround, right? I mean, 2 p.m., you already know your opponent on the next round. Start getting ready.
In some cases, you start worrying.
Well, yeah, you have to start, if you're on the road especially, right? I mean, you have to start planning, and
Yeah.
training sessions are not going to come as often as you probably need them. But I'm sure everybody's happy to compete and still, you know, have that opportunity at winning the Open Cup.
Someone trying to find that wake that Sacramento provided from last year's performance. They had a lot of action at home.
Yeah.
And then eventually fell in the title bout to Orlando. But as you mentioned, it's all about the draw.
It's about the draw, you know, a call going your way every now and then. Not every game's going to happen, but, you know, like we saw like early in the first half, Akeem Ward, that's probably a second yellow. It wasn't, you know, that could have been a big moment in the game. Those are the moments that you need in an Open Cup run.
Agudelo clearing some space for Kassim. Not enough real estate there. Pasher with it. Pasher 1-on-3, and he finds the back of the net. Bill Hamid upset with himself, but Pasher is all smiles. This thing is hook, line, and sinker. Birmingham thinking about round number 5. It is 3-0.
And what a play from Birmingham. They have been looking for counterattack opportunities. They finally were able to do what they wanted. It's Agudelo who opens up to the left side. Kassim able to control, but Tyler Pasher is right there. And you start thinking about pressure defensively. Well, it wasn't there this time for Memphis. Right-footed shot for Pasher. Remember, in the first half, he had the one opportunity. He didn't trust to take the right-footed shot. He gets one more chance, and he puts the ball in the back of the net. It's 3-0, and again, Birmingham in control.
Well, opportunity knocks but once, but you mentioned it. Pasher getting a reprieve, or a mulligan, if you will. An attempt with the right foot, a proper plant, and a right-footed strike. And this thing is all but over.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really tough for Memphis at this point. Obviously, tired legs. You know, they have been using the same starting 11 for a few games now. So, you know, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because as well, I think, you know, Birmingham, they went back to the level of play that they showed early in the USL Championship season.
So Pasher in the 64th minute with a final dagger. Everything else it'll feel like for Birmingham will be cosmetic. But I think the most important note for Birmingham in their pursuit for a 5th round matchup, which looks like they'll get to, and possibly beyond that, is the guys up front have to do the damage.
Yeah.
Tonight, Pasher.
Yeah.
Tonight, Agudelo.
Yeah.
And also Enzo Martinez.
Enzo Martinez, yes.
So
yes.
if you write a script on how Birmingham can win the USL Championship title, you have to imagine those 3 guys
That's it.
will be writing
Yes.
large portions of that story.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, they have to carry that responsibility, and they have been able to do it here tonight.
Fernando trying to roll over that ball and put both hands on it. He could not. Asiadu escaping one defender. Kassim, high arcing. Agudelo looking for more. Agudelo frustrated with himself.
Well, it's going to be frustrating for the coaching staff when it comes to Memphis because, you know, it happens again. Just a few minutes ago, it's a 1v3, and Tyler Pasher is able to take a shot. Just a few seconds later, it's Agudelo inside the box, 1v4, and even though the shot was not on frame, Juan Agudelo was able to take that shot. That shot should be blocked when you have 4 defenders inside the box.
Jake Roof coming in. Pasher is out. Spirited effort.
Substitutions for Legion FC in the 67th minute. Entering the game is number 2, Ben Ravino. Leaving the game
Ravino
is
in.
number 4, Colin Smith. Entering the game is number
Ravino
13,
in.
Jake Roof. Leaving the game is number 15, Tyler Pasher. This substitution was brought to you by Papa John.
And Roof also in.
And I think this goes along the lines of what we were talking about in the first half. Okay,
Yeah.
when is it the time to start to think about the weekend? And I think this is the time. Here's another look at the goal. You know, Tyler Pasher, right place, right time. He's able to create a little bit of space, not a lot, but I think there could have been more pressure defensively from Memphis. Malloy a little bit late to the play, and credit goes to Pasher. He was able to capitalize.
And Graham Smith working almost as a screen for Bill Hamid. Smith is 6'3", and now you have almost a whole line substitution for Memphis right now as they'll, for all intents and purposes, clear their bench. Looked like Jelani Peters was one of the 4 players that'll enter the fray. But for Memphis, their journey in the U.S. Open Cup is about to come to a close. The music shall stop, as they'd say.
Yeah, I think looking back into the competition for them, I think that Atlanta game, that's something that they can look back and be proud of.
Yeah.
I think they play a very good game, and if they're able to put that performance consistently in league play, they're going to be a tough team to win against. So, a lot of positives, of course, even though we still have 22 minutes to go here.
There's Peters. Dylan Borzak also coming in, Detroit, Michigan native. See the announcement right now. So Stephen Glass, obviously not enthusiastic about tonight's outcome. They beat Hartford last weekend 2-0, and then tonight, outside of the first 10 minutes, they have been knocked out.
Yeah, I think that Akeem Ward shot that hits the post, I think that could have turned a game around for them. It could be a completely different game at this point, but it didn't happen, and you just can't be good for 10 minutes and expect to win a game at this level.
There's certain teams that, not that they want to play from behind, but they can at least play from behind and not feel like they're out of it. But Memphis, they have to either be level or with the advantage to do what they want to do ultimately.
Yeah, I think so. And it's the timing as well for the goals. Birmingham scoring in the 20th minute mark when they were just getting into the game. First opportunity of the match, and Birmingham scores, and then the second goal right before the end of the half. So the timing for the goals as well was just a little bit hard to take for Memphis here tonight.
See the substitutions for Memphis. Borzak, Peters. Jelani Peters from Trinidad and Tobago. Dali. Dali trying to use his frame. fending off one defender. And Dolly with a chip over on the right-hand side. A little too ambitious. That play was picked off. Ravino trying to use his positioning. Ooh, this one played nearly through. Pickering was the intended target. Malloy. Agudelo was tracking. Couldn't catch up with Malloy, but here he is now. Enzo Martinez breaking it up for a brief moment. Peters with a near fatal error. Jose, you mentioned CONCACAF, and LAFC obviously is a team that has been fantastic this year in MLS competition, but Agudelo going to the sidelines, he'll be subbed in for. He departs, but man, he was fantastic in the night.
Yeah, I think this is the key moment of the match because, like I mentioned before, this is the first real opportunity inside the box that Birmingham had. And, I think it's very rewarding as well for players and for coaching staff when a set piece works. And I think this time it was executed to perfection. And that in part because of the finish from Agudelo. A lot of quality first touch that was more than enough for him to put it in the back of the net. So a good performance for Agudelo as well. Probably gets the assist as well on the third goal.
Might have to put you on the spot. Who you think the man of the match is for Birmingham?
Well, I think we have to go with Enzo. Gets the assist, gets the goal. And to be honest, we haven't seen as much from him in the second half, but I think it did set the tone.
Yeah.
In the first 45 minutes.
Oh yeah. You inflict your will on the opposition, you pretty much set the table up for the rest of the night.
Yeah. And, going back to 2012, David, MLS Combine in Fort Lauderdale, Enzo Martinez was there. And from the get-go, he was a player that, caught the attention of everybody that was watching that day. And
good drum, Spangenberg with the right claw.
He remains not only an effort guy, but a player that understands the system, and I think especially here in Birmingham, he's comfortable, he's making a difference, and he's leading by example. So, that's something that we've seen from Enzo Martinez from the get-go in his professional career, and moments like this one is just a continuation of what we have seen throughout his career.
Yeah, drafted 17th overall in 2012. Spangenberg there to disrupt that shot. Only the second save to make in the night. Pickering with the bid there. But quite the luxury now for Birmingham. A sizable lead at 3-0, and as you mentioned, some of their leaders get to relax, rest, grab some water, and then they have a date with Pittsburgh on the 13th, so just a couple days from now.
Yeah, and obviously Pittsburgh coming in with a lot of confidence after, winning the Open Cup match against New England Revolution, a big win, and it should be an interesting match. I think at this point, not only Birmingham, but Memphis, they start thinking about the weekend as well. It's going to be really, really tough for Memphis to come back.
Yeah, nothing short of a miracle is going to afford them an opportunity to not only get one goal, but 3 goals. Roof taken down.
Yeah, an easy call for the referee. And 3 goals just to extend the game.
Yeah.
Right? Because, you still, to win it, you actually need 4 goals or go to PK. So, it's a tough challenge. But I think, overall, if you're Memphis, you have to look at the Open Cup as a whole, not only that performance here tonight, because there are a lot of positives for this team.
Well, Birmingham, I think it's safe to say, has got the pep back in their step after losing their last 2 USL Championship regular season matches. They are in high gear tonight. Pickering.
And if you really look into this Birmingham team, they have key elements that were important for Sacramento last year. Rodrigo Lopez, a very important player in the midfield that can also score. That would be Enzo Martinez. Good strikers, that would be Agudelo. A good goalkeeper, that would be Spangenberg, which Vitiello was very good for Sacramento Republic last year.
Yeah.
They have a lot of similarities, so they could make a good run. I think it is already, but they might go even further.
Graham Smith there in a questionable challenge. And Birmingham has to feel at least a little fortunate to even get to this point. They escaped the 3rd round of the U.S. Open Cup by beating Chattanooga FC 4-3 in penalties.
Yep.
It's a team from Nisa. So you get by just by the hair of your chinny chin chin, if you will, and then all of a sudden you play a common opponent and you carve them up at least to the tune of 3-0.
I think that's the beauty of the cup. You win 3-0 tonight, and that means absolutely nothing tomorrow morning.
It's true. On the approach here, Hamid will come out, and I don't know if Prosper Kasim was trying to take a shot or set up a teammate on a cross, but it's a rare poor effort on his part.
Yeah, I think tire legs. I would think tire legs are a factor right there.
Pickering. Kelly. Cronali will head that thing out. Enzo Martinez in a slow play. Martinez, Roof, all up there. Looked like Graham Smith maybe caught an elbow. Could be embellishing. Hamid will let this thing travel far and wide. Alva's there. So next up for Memphis, they'll be at home against Colorado Springs. A different look for Colorado Springs, but still deadly in the Western Conference. No Haji Berry.
Yeah, no, and that's a big no.
Yeah.
No Haji Berry. I mean, you're missing a big piece right there.
But the beat will go on for Birmingham. Again, the draw for a round of 16 opponent is tomorrow, 2 o'clock Eastern, the Bleacher Report app. So only a few hours away from that. And as you mentioned, it feels like with Birmingham, they have a couple loaded sticks of dynamite that can go off in any match.
Yeah.
Which is quite the luxury for them when you get into a tournament like this, because if for any reason you need to go to penalties, you got 3, 4, 5 guys that can do damage.
Yeah, you're going to need experience along the way. As much as you need energy, as we see the yellow card at that time for Kavita, you're going to need the energy of the young players, but especially when it comes to later rounds,
yeah,
you're going to need experience. When it comes to a penalty, you don't want to have a young player that's taking a big-time penalty for the first time in their career. You want to have an experienced player, and that's why I mentioned, Rodrigo Lopez last year for Sacramento Republic. That player could very easily be Enzo Martinez this year for Birmingham. So, you need to find the right combination, the right balance to make a good run here in the Open Cup.
And Wegbu is in. And Wegbo replaces Kasim. And Wegbo entering the 81st minute.
It really feels like Prognoli is, ball is in the air and he's claiming it. It's mine. Nobody get to it. Every single ball, every single cross coming in for Memphis, it's Prognoli clearing away.
Well, Memphis felt good about themselves in the first 10 minutes of this affair. And then all of a sudden, it felt like they were driving in third gear. And then Birmingham not only found them on the Autobahn, but passed them up, and they never looked back. This one chipped in around. Spangenberg not giving up any kind of ground there. This with some fine defensive prowess.
Yeah, and Spangenberg likes the effort because, it's the 82nd minute mark. You're leading by 3 goals. It's very easy to look away and see what happens. You let the ball go, and the goalkeeper appreciates that.
Malloy here on the corner. Played into the box again. Smith was the intended target. Memphis at least looking for one. They feel much better about themselves. Make no mistake about it, this thing has been over for quite a bit. Outside the first 10 minutes, it never felt like Memphis was in this match.
Yeah, and I think it's because of the timing of the goals.
Yeah.
I think I'll go back to that because, when you feel like you're in control of the game and then the opponent gets the one opportunity and they score in it, and then, you're just trying to find your way into the locker room for halftime and try to regroup, and then you can see another goal before that. It's really hard, and it's the mental side of the game. It's so important.
Not like Memphis collapsed at all, but it is demoralizing to give up a goal in the 39th minute, because after that, nothing has been on track for them as Trucci had taken that shot.
Yeah, I think they were just not able to get at the level that they have been playing at in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And that was the main problem. And of course, a lot of credit goes to Birmingham, but the timing of the goals did not allow Memphis to react, to put the best effort out there to try to overcome what they were going through in terms of the early goal in the 20th minute mark and the late goal in the first half.
Well, these two teams will get together again, and they'll do so in regular season activity. But that's for another day and another conversation. When they eventually get together, you won't see these two lock up until June the 7th. That match will take place in Memphis. And then to the tail end of the season, they'll come back here to Protective Stadium. This looks to be offside. It was not the call, and that one just misses the net. And Wegbo, I think, was waiting for the official on the far side to raise his flag. And Wegbo had a wide open net to shoot at against Hamid and simply shanked it.
Well, first off, what a ball. What a beautiful ball, right through the middle. Then plenty of room, plenty of time as well. And maybe that's the problem. It was just way too much time to make a decision. Wegbo decides to take the shot to the near post. Not good enough. Maybe a little bit of credit as well to Bill Hamid for closing out. But overall, just a missed opportunity that time.
Maybe too easy.
Yep.
And Wegbo asking for it again. Top of the box. That straight hits woodwork again. Oh my. Enzo Martinez looking for his second of the evening. Missed it by that much.
Yep, very close again. Now with the tire legs and with Memphis pushing numbers forward, there's obviously a lot of room behind, and back-to-back chances for Birmingham, unable to score. But pretty much the game decided with the 3-goal advantage. So And yes, a missed opportunity, but it doesn't really mean much at this point.
Nico Brett with a fine setup there. This should result in a corner kick, and it does. Big thanks to our entire crew working tonight from Protective Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama. Hope you enjoyed this fourth round matchup between Birmingham and Memphis. Eastern Conference rivals in the USL Championship. Malloy, high and across, and no way with legit contact. The Seadoo fended off. It's a whistle and a foul though. Goodrum wearing the frustration on his sleeve. Shots right now are 10-7 in favor of Memphis, but 4 of them on target for Birmingham, only 2 for the road team. Goodrum with a near intercept. He's asking for a foul, not going to get it. So most of these matches, as you see in the top left-hand corner, have been not only competitive, but close. Here tonight, 3-0 Birmingham. Columbus Crew lighting up Loudoun United 5-1.
Yeah. I think, you know, that obviously is surprising to me because, I mean, we know what the season has been like for Loudoun. But I think I expected a closer match here between Birmingham and Memphis.
Yeah. I know you did. You thought there were going to be penalties.
I thought about penalties. Yeah, I did. I thought it would be closer, but, you know, all credit goes to Birmingham. I think they play a solid game. And, yeah, I think they can continue to do this. I wouldn't be surprised if they go really, really far in the tournament.
Agudelo, Martinez, and Pasher doing the damage tonight. And Wegbo. Dazzling. Stop and go action. Hamid on the breakup. Not to throw you under the bus or anything, Jose, but when you mentioned penalties, our entire production crew said we don't want any of that. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to hang out with you for more time tonight.
Good.
It's called quality time for a reason. Not extra time, quality time.
So I jinxed the penalties as well, just like I did with Sporting Kansas City. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about Austin and New Mexico. See what happens. Keep you on the edge.
There you go. Goodrum. Cronali has brought his A game tonight. Oh, and a gem of a performance for Alex.
Yeah, solid all around. And, you know, that's a big part of the game. And when you understand the value of having a center back that is not only have a good performance individually, but that helps out the collective effort, you know, that there's a lot of value into that, and that's exactly what Cronali was able to do here tonight.
Cronali again, right on cue. As you see it, 1 minute of stoppage time. Seadoo, Nico Brett on the right side. Seadoo escapes traffic, and that thing, oh, I think he got well underneath it. Might have had the pitching wedge in that shot, Jose.
Yeah. Well, you know, this game could very easily be 5 or 6-0. This time, a good counterattack opportunity as Seadoo opens up to the right side. I think the ball maybe bounces just last second before he takes the shot, and that's why it goes over the bar.
Alex Cronali, he's not on the scoring column tonight, but he is in the box score if this score stays as is. helping out Trevor Spangenberg, excuse me.
I think he was on the same list with Tyler Pasher until he scored, because now with Tyler scoring, obviously we talk about him, but with Birmingham having Enzo Martinez and Juan Agudelo, those are two players that will grab all the attention.
Yeah.
And sometimes you overlook the other as important performances. Tyler Pasher was able to score. We talked about him, but I think it's good to mention Crognale because he had a solid game tonight.
Yeah, he has been fantastic on that back line for Birmingham. Trevor Spangenberg, a couple saves. Lorenzo Hernandez blows the final whistle, and he says goodbye as long as everybody else does the same to Memphis 901 FC. They have departed, exit stage left, and moving around number 5 is Birmingham Legion FC. An impressive performance here tonight. Agudelo, Martinez, and Pasher, the 3 markers. 3-0 is the final score.
Yeah, I think, just overall a great performance from Enzo Martinez. He was able to set the tone early on in the first half with the assist and late with the second goal of the match. And then in the second half, it was more about finding that consistency defensively. They were able to do that. He was able to help as well. That's where Crognale comes into the picture. And for Memphis, just not a good night. And sometimes just can't afford that. And that's the case when you're playing an elimination game tonight here in Open Cup. It's the end of the road. But again, a lot of positives as well for Memphis 901.
Memphis, though, they have lost 3 of their last 6 when conceding their first goal. In fact, they are now winless in 6 straight when conceding the opening goal. But Jose, we go to the full-time highlights in this thing, and Memphis had moments early on, especially.
Yeah, I think, we go back to that play. It looked really good at this point because Fernando has the ball, goes through the middle, now onto the left side with Akeem Ward, opens up to the right side, takes the shot, hits the post, unfortunately for Memphis. That could have been the moment that will push them through the next round. But Birmingham came right back with the set-piece play, short corner kick. Martinez brings the ball in, a low cross, and an easy finish for Agudelo. And right before the end of the half, a shot from Tyler Pasher, blocked from Bill Hamid, but goes right straight to Enzo Martinez, takes his time, and a beautiful finish. One of my favorite goals tonight. And, at that point, it was 2-0, end of the first half. It was a little bit complicated for Memphis to come back.
Yeah, Tyler Pasher here in the 64th minute. A cherry on top. You see Hamid with a screen in front from his teammate Graham Smith. But it was all over after that as Pasher getting a delightful hug from Enzo Martinez. 3-0 is the final. See the shots on goal, 4-2 in favor of Birmingham. Total shots favored Memphis. Possession time, Birmingham could give a rip about the final numbers. They got what they wanted, the end result, 3-0. And frankly, they earned the victory. They are the better team.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They were the better team here tonight. And I think, they took advantage of playing at home, knowing the playing conditions. They didn't care a lot about possession. They had 3 goals from 4 shots on target. I think, it's a good performance and the right way to look into what's coming for this team. A lot of pressure coming up in league play and, of course, in the Open Cup coming up in the next round.
Well, Memphis will depart now, the U.S. Open Cup. Their run is over. They continue league play on May the 13th against Colorado Springs. Birmingham Legion moving on to round number 5. We'll see who their opponent is tomorrow. For my broadcast partner, Jose Rodriguez, I'm David Gascon saying so long from Protective Stadium. Enzo Martinez was one of the markers, and Birmingham wins this thing in convincing fashion. 3-0 is the final. So long, everyone.